Turning Red follows Mei Lin, who inherits the red panda gift from her family during a time where she begins to hit her womanhood. Hello, everybody. My name is Josh, Movie Apprentice, and Pixar return once again for Turning Red, which is a movie that is now streaming on Disney Plus. Has been out over the weekend. I've only just got round to reviewing it, though I did see it the day it came out. And to say this is a very mid-tier Pixar movie is a shame to say, because this film is filled with some really good ideas and concepts, but there are a lot of moments in this that are executed either poorly or in a very gross way. Now, there are some obvious themes with Turning Red that I lack neither the personal experience nor equipment to be able to comment on accurately, so I will only talk about what the film generally features. First of all, red pandas are absolutely adorable, and I'm glad to see a whole film focusing on the idea of red pandas, and the designs of these red pandas is really well done. I love the fact that the red panda is attached to Mei Lin's gift and emotions, and I really enjoy the fact that this film could have gone down a classic route of a person has an ability or a gift where they transform and they're trying to hide it from their friends. This film does away with that. She has a nice core support network of friends that find out pretty quickly about this red panda gift, and that allows the film to go into a more unique direction in how it is approached, which is a big thing that I very much appreciated from this movie. Now, the friends, they serve a purpose, and as individuals, they don't really add much, but as a conglomerate and a group, they add a lot more. They are very one note in their personalities, but the way they all act as just that rock that supports Mei Lin through all the struggles and strife against her parents and against the situation and her growing up aspects. That was a really strong element of it. The animation, of course, is really good. I really appreciated the fact that it really went heavy on certain elements, like the food cooking scene did not have to go very hard, but it did, and it made me really hungry instantly. I also really enjoyed a lot of the inclusivity in this. There is obviously the main character who is part of a Chinese American family, and there is even a security guard who comes from a specific religion that steals the show whenever he shows up. He is the unsung hero of this movie, and I really enjoyed those little elements of it. There's also the family dynamic, and this is one of those things that seems to be drawing a little bit of ire online. From my perspective, the mom is frustrating. Now, what I mean by that is she is overbearing to an almost comical degree. We have had some mums that have been difficult in recent movies. For example, in Canto, Abuela is obviously an antagonistic force in this, but it's also an understandable antagonistic force. She's believable as not knowing what she's doing. Mei Lin's mum in this is very overbearing to an extreme degree, and it feels like what Pixar was trying to do was they were trying to go for the idea that kids generally see their parents as really embarrassing, so they made her the extreme case of the really embarrassing parents. And I appreciate the idea, but it makes her almost an insufferable character at times, and it made it really hard to root for her when we get her big redemption arc towards the finale. There is literally a moment where she sees some drawings in a book and goes out of a left field conclusion that this guy must be inappropriately getting close to Mei Lin. And this guy has no idea who Mei Lin is. This is just a stereotypical young girl drawing cute pictures of boys in a notebook, and the mum takes that leap and goes and confronts this boy who has no idea what's going on. Some of the actions she takes in the movie are very questionable. And while it's great to see a protective mum in there, it's to an extreme degree that in no way would slide. And there's a lot of things she does in this that really defies belief, even towards the tail end of the movie. She does a couple of other things, and she's like the extreme case of the mom that wants to believe nothing but the good in their kid and blames everyone else around them. And she was a very frustrating character for me. Luckily, the father character, who was very inconspicuous in the movie, actually gives us one of the most heartfelt moments of the entire film, and basically gave us that core that brought Mei Lin home rather than being pushed away from her family life. In terms of other elements of this, I see some of the ideas in this, and I kind of get what they were going for, but there are some really, really questionable moments. There is a specific moment that I'm just gonna say, remember the film Cuties, and everyone was up in arms about that particular move, how it portrayed young girls. Something very similar happens in this, and no one seems to be questioning it or talking about it. At least not in the reviews I've seen, anyway. And it's uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable when you think about the actual context of what you're seeing, and the comedy in those moments immediately lapses away. So while there are some good ideas, and it's definitely a good film for young girls to watch, especially those that are hitting that particular age, it's very good for them to watch. But there are some elements that I feel like were too on the nose, or were a bit too far in terms of where is the line when it comes to certain elements of these behaviors. I enjoyed Maitreyi as a character. She was very funny. She's a bit janky at the start of the movie when she's talking to the camera a lot. But once we get to see her bouncing off her friends, bouncing off her family, basically seeing the two different sides to her, and seeing her go through this journey of development and dealing with this panda gift, it was great. And I loved how she's had this range. She would go from really quiet around her mum to really loud and energetic around her friends. And whenever she was trying to repress the energy from the red panda form, that was some of the most enjoyable moments of the movie. And I loved that. And today, this character's only 13. So the idea that she's devoting this whole idea of going to this concert is going to make or break her, that is relatable in itself. And I really enjoyed that. Overall, Turning Red for me is full of good ideas. There were some great character designs, great inclusivity, and just overall some really good themes that they dive into that I can't really comment on a personal level. I can only see them from an outsider's perspective. But on the flip side, we have the extreme case of the overbearing parent stereotype, and some of the ways they try and put across a few of the messages and themes is a little questionable and a little gross at times, and some people might be able to overlook that. But me personally, it did drag me out the film numerous times. I summarized it as this was a funnily charming film that would at the same time be frustrating in the exact same breath, sometimes in back to back scenes. And that did drag the film down in my estimates. So overall, I'm going to have to say that for me, Turning Red is an okay cup of tea. So Turning Red, have you all seen it? If you have, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. You like to see on the channel, drop the like, click the subscribe button, and let me know in the comments, where was this rank on your Pixar list? I'll put this around mid-tier, lower mid-tier would be where I would put it on first viewing, but that might change upon rewatches. Until next time, everybody, my name is Josh. I've been Movie Apprentice. I'll see you all in the next one.